What's going on, guys? Vic VP back with another Gamecase Arcades video. On this one today, we're going to be doing an overview of this heavily custom built, exactly to the customer's needs and specs, Vewlinx style ByVic 55-inch 2-player but 3 joysticks arcade cabinet with the 24-inch active marquee. This is mind-blowing stuff. I hope the customer loves it. Again, built to spec. I build custom arcades. This is to spec to what the customer wanted. It's defying the laws of gravity. What? Look, I can even grab a stool and play just like what the customer wanted. Let's take a look. All right, you know the drill. If you're not following me on all the socials, what are you waiting for? Be sure to follow me at Vic_VP. Click the link down below. It's a very nice, convenient link that will show you the website. It'll show you recent videos, and it also shows you all the social media. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Be sure to also like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your opinion on this heavily custom-built ByVic arcade cabinet. This one was quite a project. I remember from the first initial email, you know, the idea, the building of it, and like I was even questioning it, to now seeing it, I brought it to reality. This is what I want to do. This is what I love to do. And that is build custom arcade cabinets. We're gonna be talking about it. This again is the overview video. Be sure to stay tuned. I will have a full force, full in-depth. I'll talk your ear off. I'm trying not to talk your ear off right now. But yes, be sure to follow me on all the socials. Let me know your opinion. Man, this is insane. Now, real quick, before I go into details, I just want to state one thing. This build right here, I only got commissioned to just build the cabinet. There's no actual PC. There's no actual like wiring going on. I have like a computer inside of this. I actually have a dedicated light gun PC build inside of this, and I'm going to be working on my videos there because this is done. I right now just want to at least put something on the screen. So while I'm talking, if you see random YouTube ads, yeah, it is what it is. This right here is, I only got commissioned. This build is only for the actual arcade cabinet. There was no PC included. There's no games included. I just want to show off what it looks like. Yes, this is what it would look like when the customer gets it. All right, so let's talk about the cabinet itself, because yes, it is a ByVic arcade cabinet. This right here is like standard. The control panel, though, got quite an enhancement and an enlargement. This is just, again, it's wild, the whole backstory on it. It is awesome, though, and I really hope that the customer loves this because it's quite a journey if you really think about it. Because in all honesty, it's a lot of emails. It's back and forth. It's ideas. It's also me saying to the customer, like, hey, I'm not sure if this is gonna work. There's a lot to it. I'm gonna like save your time and you'll just wait for the full in-depth video. On this one again, though, we're doing an overview. Again, like I mentioned before, I am only commissioned on this build specifically to build the arcade cabinet. That was it. There's no wiring in this. I didn't buy buttons. I didn't buy joysticks. The customer sent me the buttons and the joysticks. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. I also did cut out the active marquee. He's got some monster Rockville speakers on it. Very cool stuff. The best part is that he actually saw, and he actually tagged the picture of it. Originally, he messaged me and said, hey, Vic, man, I'm looking for that Iron Man ByVic cabinet, which that's my buddy Ray, Arpeg Electronics. So it was like, it kind of started like that. That's why I love it where, you know, I was able to make videos on different versions of a ByVic cabinet. So you've seen my 4-player, you've seen a 2-player, and now you've seen 2-player with 3 joysticks. We're gonna go through it. But yes, this is what I was commissioned for, was just to build the cabinet. No wiring done on this, no system inside of it. And honestly, I'm very pleased with the outcome. Now, like I mentioned in previous videos, but some people don't understand it because they see this as one huge piece of wood. This is technically 2 pieces. All my ByVic cabinets are 2 pieces. You have the base. Big thing when building the base, especially with me, I have to make sure that this fits through your doorway. If this don't fit, it's not gonna go in your house. So it's funny when I get people like, oh, that looks so big, it's not gonna fit through my door. I'm like, no, this is technically two separate pieces. So you have your base cabinet and then you have your control panel. On my regular ByVics, yes, the control panel is detachable. Now, like I mentioned before, this is what I love. This was legit, like custom to the T. Customer had several requests. The first thing when he emailed me, he wrote to me, he goes, this is gonna be a cabinet that you've never seen. Like this is gonna be something that like you're not gonna fathom once he gets it done. I'm like, all right, we're going back and forth. It's quite a lot of emails, but that's a-okay because I wanna make sure that I'm giving you exactly what you want. This customer has currently in his house 2 Vewlinx style cabinets. Vewlinx, it's a little bit lower and the control panel is deeper. That was the inspiration to this. That is what he wanted. He is a big fan of having his feet underneath the control panel. So my understanding is that he does like to sit down while he plays. It's very funny. I just posted a short on this and already somebody commented, they're like, whoa, these buttons are way too far back. Like, I don't like it. Now, remember, this is built to the customer's needs. When you are ready to build your arcade cabinet and you want it custom, you let me know. This right here, yes, it's not for everybody, but it's great to show, especially to show that I could do it custom made. That's the big plug here that I keep repeating myself. But yes, I build it to the customer's needs. So off the bat, he did mention to me, Vic, I want a Vewlinx style cabinet. I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine. Automatically, he did mention like, hey, I want to be able to put my knees under it. Now, in all honesty, my ByVic cabinets, you could put your knees under it. You could sit on a stool, especially if you watch my live streams of my personal ByVic downstairs, the 4-player, I sit on a stool after I get tired of standing. So it was already doable, but the customer took it to another extent and said, hey, Vic, I must have at least like 15 inches from the center of this button layout to the edge. Originally, he wanted 15. And when I started drawing out the actual control panel on like my CNC software, immediately I said to him, I said, hey, listen, I'm gonna give you a heads up. I wanna build exactly what you want, but I have to also keep in mind reality and safety. And I'm like, if we go deep, it might go forward. And I'm like, it might go forward, but it's great to see it's not going nowhere. That's the best part. That's awesome. So that's off the bat. Before deposits were taken, I'm going to talk about that in a quick second. Before deposits are taken, I only take deposits when it's actually time to build. I have people on a wait list, but I have not taken a dime from them. That's what sets me apart from other builders. So I said to him, I said, listen, right now, I'm going to actually cut your cabinet. I didn't take a deposit because, you have a vision and I want to make sure it's doable. So let me cut the cabinet and make sure, because my main concern when this build came up, I was like, oh man, I really don't want this to tilt forward. That's like dangerous. But I am just amazed that it worked out. Like it's insane to me. It's mind-boggling to see, because it's like the customer wanted, we're gonna talk about artwork, the customer wanted the effect that it was floating. And this is no joke, like it's floating. It is crazy. But again, going back to what I was saying, the customer originally wanted 15 inches from the center of this center player to the edge here. And I'm like, that might be kind of deep. I'm kind of worried about it tipping forward. So we actually brought it back. This right here is 12 inches from the edge. Vic, it's only 3 inches. 3 inches is a lot. Ask, that's what she said, joke. But yes, I don't want to go that far. But yes, again, I'm the type of person, I read the emails and I was like, let me keep reality also. I have to communicate reality to you. And I said, hey, just a heads up, I am concerned about it tipping. So he said, hey, Vic, listen, if it doesn't work out, fine, we'll shorten the deck. That's where I mentioned before, I didn't take a deposit. I built the cabinet. And as you can see, it stayed on its feet and we proceed on. I'm gonna grab a stool for this because it works out perfectly and I could explain the actual control panel here. So in the first initial email, or I should say like the second or third one, he was talking about a 2-player arcade setup, but with 3 joysticks /3 button set. And I was very confused. I was like, huh? But now I get it. Once I explain it to you, I get it. This customer wanted basically an option where if you're playing 2 players, player 1 is here and player 2 is there. But if you're playing alone, you're playing solo, we have a nice little switch on the side here that's gonna disable this player and bring in the center player. So if he's playing alone, he's gonna be center to his arcade cabinet. Makes sense. That was like the one thing I was like, huh, 3 players and 2 players, and yeah. So on the side here, we do have a switch. Again, I am not doing any wiring. There's no wiring in this. The customer is doing that on his end. I basically gave him the tip where like, listen, you're gonna set these and set the ground. You're gonna set these and set a ground. So there's gonna be 2 wires coming to this little switch here. It's a rocker switch. And that's it. If you're playing 2 players, you're gonna disable this. This way player 2 can't hit your buttons as you play, and now you have 2 players or 1 player. Now you can see real quick, I moved the camera. You can see right on the edge here, we actually have 2 options here. So you have your rocker switch here. He did supply this. All this was supplied. I didn't supply any buttons and all that. He bought and sent all that to me. So we have the switch here where you could basically enable player 1 left side or player 1 center. And then we also have here USB and headphone jack on both players' sides. So there's a set here and a set here. If you notice at the top, he did request for this volume knob here. There are 2 of them here. So he kind of wanted it where player 1 headphones, you could control the volume here. Player 2 headphones, you can control the volume here. Again, it was really cool. If you see the process, the beginning of it, you know, I was giving some helpful critique and suggestions. He originally, I don't know if it's still gonna happen. I don't really remember, to be honest. But this right here, he actually wanted to put the power button and the PC reset button. I said, that's a cool idea, but I'll be brutally honest, I could just see the accidental button presses. So I'm not sure if he's gonna still do that. If he does, cool. If not, it is A-okay. It's already cut. A lot of stuff. I also included, I gave this to him. We did put the 2 cup holders. They are LEDs. Again, I didn't do any wiring, so they're not lit up right now. Customer requested 4 buttons on each side. I don't know exactly what those 4 buttons are, but again, customer requested it and I cut it. Also now going to another extra step, the actual button layout here. This is a Vewlinx style button layout. I'll probably shoot some B-roll. You can basically see that it's like the first row, the first 2, it's a little bit lower, and then the next 3 rows are like lined up perfectly. There's no curvature. Me personally, I don't do this style of buttons. If I have a template, I'll show you. Found it? So this is how I normally do my button layout here. So as you can see, it's curved. It's a nice curvature here. That's how I do it. This customer's though, it is 3 straight across and 1 lower. So that was another piece of custom. Again, the customer owns 2 Vewlinx cabinets, so he's already accustomed to that button layout. So that was pretty cool. This right here, he also went the route. He does have, I believe they're Sanwas. We do have Sanwa buttons on this. Again, customers sent me everything. We do have Sanwa buttons on this. If you notice the Sanwas though, obviously they are much skinnier, shorter than your standard arcade button. What does that mean? Basically, I have to now drill out a good 1/4 of an inch to make sure that you could actually put the nut to that button. It's actually pretty funny. This is the second control panel. Originally, the customer wanted this same size button across the board. This is like, I think it's like a 30mm. Later on, he said, no, Vic, never mind. I actually want to do the start and the coins up here. They are smaller. I think that's a 24mm button. So I'll take one out and I'll show you the difference. There you go. You can see the different sizes there. Again, this is like 30mm and then this is like 24. So that means I have to set up my CNC to cut different circles. That also means that I have to do test cuts. So pretty cool stuff. Stay tuned for the longer in-depth. I'm going to explain to you how this is, again, a second version of this control panel. I have the first one over there. All right, cool. So we talked about the actual control panel stuff. Again, I have my nice little kickstand design that I do. This way, if the customer wants to work on it, look at like the height of that control panel. Awesome stuff. We'll talk real quick on the artwork. The artwork, this is Gasson Designs. that's who I'm going to be using for now on if anybody wants any custom artwork. Pretty cool stuff. I'll be honest though, it did take a little bit of time. It took about a month. I wasn't involved in that. I told the customer, hey, hit up Gasson. I don't know what he charges. You deal with him on your end. He's going to send me the files and I will print it and such. That was included in my package deal. So pretty cool stuff. You kind of see here on the left side, he's got the Street Fighter Alpha 3. Very nice, beautiful stuff. The center with all this like graffiti tagging, pretty cool. Again, whatever the customer wanted, he was the one that designed it with Gasson. What's also kind of interesting, Gasson originally gave me a file like this with the whole, splatter. He actually put it also for the kick plate. But the customer, when I was ready to print it, the customer said, hey, Vic, do me a favor. I don't want that. I want this to have the illusion that it's floating. So I did put black vinyl. That is a vinyl sticker, black, that is right by where your feet are. So pretty cool. And now as far as the right side here, we do have Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Pretty cool. Very nice artwork again by Gasson. Again, the whole paint splatter stuff, very cool. It's a really cool touch. Really stands out. Now again, keep in mind, all my cabinets are on casters. This is also pretty cool to show you proof of concept that I'm moving it and it's not falling forward. Now, as far as the rear here, again, I am using this plug and play light gun PC to show off stuff on the screen, but the rear is pretty bare. Again, I do have here 2 holes. I do ask customers, how many vent holes do you want? The customer is doing all that on his end, so he has 2 holes here. The actual inside though, he's gonna do a unique setup. He's not gonna have a PC in a tower like I have now. There is a shelf inside. I'll shoot some B-roll. There's a shelf inside and he's gonna put the PC mounted like there. Again, all arcade cabinets are essentially the same. They are just empty cavities. Whatever you wanna put in it is up to you. Now, what's really interesting is that he did also send me, which I don't do any of the wiring. There's no wiring included. I didn't include that. We're not doing that. He did send me also the amp. I did not bolt down the amp. He did tell me, hey, Vic, I want to put it on the left. I don't want to drill a hole in my shelf, and if he's going to move it, so I'll let him do that on his end. It's just 2 screws that hold it down. Now, what's really interesting, and it's also something that I thought of while we were discussing, I said, hey, you're going to have headphones, and you're also going to have speakers. So the way I'm understanding how this is going to work out is basically the amp has Bluetooth connectivity. So I would assume he's going to Bluetooth in to the PC. So PC to Bluetooth to work those speakers, those Rockvilles. And then he's going to use headphone jack to control his headphones. I don't really totally remember, but I'm leaving that up to him. It is what it is. And he's going to get all of his parts that he got. And that's the rear of it. Cool, right? Simple. I am giving him the power switch here. There's no wiring. There's no power strip. Again, that wasn't part of the deal. He was going to do all that on his end, but I'm going to give him at least this switch here because I have a bunch there. But yeah, that's the inside. I'm going to bring this back. Hopefully I don't unplug my switch, but it's just cool to see the proof of, I'm not even in the camera. It's pretty cool to just see, it works. That is the best thing. And again, my biggest fear is no more. I was worried about it tilting. I got to center myself. Hold on. Now I feel better, I'm centered. The customer originally, when he emailed me, he did mention that he was gonna put a 65-inch curved screen on this. That would probably be the biggest I've ever seen. This right now, I actually grab it, because again, it's weird without a TV to show you what the final product looks like. This right here is actually from my House of Rock. This again is my 55-inch screen. So this is what it looks like with a 55. I can only imagine a 65 curved. Customer also does have a 55-inch laying around. But yeah, it is what it is. As far as now the active marquee, this was really cool and I'm very happy. I found a very affordable active marquee. This right here, again, it's a 23, 24-inch active marquee. Got that on Amazon, $300 for that active marquee. Whereas my buddy Ray, Arpeg Electronics, he had like the Pixelcade active marquee. And originally when I was talking to this customer, I did send him the link that Ray got, and it was like an $800 active marquee. So for $300, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Custom cut, dremeled, edged out, and all. And I think it looks great. That is honestly it. That's all I could think of. Again, I got to keep in mind that I have to make this as an overview. It's got to be short, Vic. Stop talking. But there you guys have it. Again, a Vewlinx style ByVic. 55-inch. It's going to be a 65-inch curve. 2-player with 3 joysticks and that 23, 24-inch active marquee arcade cabinet. Vic VP Gamecase arcades. Love it.